guys, it's your girl Crystal with a basket case. Listen, I know you've been missing me as I've been missing you, but I have been busy, but I've also been enjoying what's left of this last bit of sunshine that we're having here in Florida. So I've been outside a bit but today I'm back in my design room. I'm going to be designing a custom gift basket yet again for another one of my realtors. Um, it is the design service where basically they pay me to put together the items, and they provide most of the items. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, this is for a home closing, and she wanted it in a fall theme. All right, so let's get into it. Before I get too far, I am providing this beautiful wicker basket. Okay, and this is what I'm going to use. And I've taken the liberty of going ahead and wrapping or half wrapping just a box, okay? Because we're going to use this as a base in the basket. Because a lot of the items that I have are pretty heavy. So let me just show you what I'm going to be working with, okay? She gave me a bottle of sparkling cider, okay? And then I have a beautiful Tuscany candle. Not really sure where it came from, but it's apple cider and donut. Okay, it smells pretty nice. Smells Christmassy, fall-y type, like apples and cinnamon. Basically, is what it smells like. So I've got that, and then she did provide me some of these Lindor caramel candies. This is one of her signature items. And then I have Farmhouse pumpkin spice. This is Bath and Body Works foaming hand soap. Okay, so we have that, and we have two beautiful dish towels, again in the fall theme as she requested. And then she gave me two little champagne glasses. Okay, so these are the items that we're going to be working with. Okay, I have some promotional items as well because she is a realtor, and she does provide some gift cards and things of that nature to go in the basket. And then there's a card, of course, with her client's name on it, which for privacy purposes, we're just going to keep that private. Okay. All right. So these are the items that I'm going to be working with today. This bottle is very heavy, and because we have, like I said, glasses, this is why I am using a box wrapped instead of just stuffing it with just a bunch of paper, because the paper, of course, will allow it to sink down. All right. This box is going to fit very, very snug in here in this basket, but I'm also going to need a backer. So I have a piece of foam board here that I've already cut because, I've already used it. So this is just some scrap foam board that I have. So I'm going to take my trusty electric scissors. I absolutely love these things. Got them from Amazon. I've let you guys know about them before, so if you're interested in the information on it, it is in my my YouTube library. If you just search out electric scissors, basically. But they did come from Amazon, so they're really, really great. I've had them for a while. You just recharge them. They send you a couple of blades, and you're ready to go. I haven't had to replace my blade yet, and I've had it for a while. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this foam board straight down here, because we're going to use part of this for a backer. Okay, so it's going to be a little noisy, but voila. These things cut like butter. I'm telling you, if you don't have any and you're looking for some electric scissors, they are wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to figure out, let's see, I may have to make another cut because this is not going to be tall enough, because I'm going to definitely need it to sit up high. So this is going to be about what I need here. Okay, thank you. My husband's just bringing me some coffee and a little something to eat since it's very early in the morning. So, all right, so this is kind of what I'm going to need here. And I may have to trim it down just a little bit. I'm not sure, but I am going to even it up because I don't know if you can tell, but it's cut kind of crooked. So I'm going to pause this video right now. I'm going to even this up, have me a little cup of coffee and eat something with my husband, and then I'll be right back. And then we're going to go ahead and get into the rest of finishing up this basket. Okay? Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back from my little mini coffee break. Okay, so I may have to cut a little bit off of this foam board at the top, but what I want to do is get a good measurement of where I'm going to need to cut it. So let's see if we can get our box stuck back in here with the foam board. Remember, I told you it's going to be a really tight fit. So let's get that box stuck. Great. Nice and tight down in that basket. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. All right. I did want that little bit of green to show, just to give it some definition. All right, so my foam board is back there for my backer. And what I'm going to do to cover this up is use my beautiful dishcloths. So they're already folded, so I'm just gonna leave the original fold and drape them kind of over here. Okay, now, as you can see, there's a little bit of this foam board showing here, which is what I don't want. So I'm gonna take off a little bit at the top so these towels will hang flush, okay? Let's see, can you guys see that? I hope you can. Okay. Let's just cut off. Okay, right off the top. Sorry for the noise. But you know, we as basket makers, I mean, we're always making noise, okay? So now there's no indication of that black foam board under there, all right? And that's what I was looking for. So we just took a little bit off the top, and I'm gonna set my 2 dishcloths. Beautiful. Kind of overlapping them a little bit, one on top of the other. Okay. All right. And I am loving the look thus far. Let's see. Yes, I am loving the look thus far. Okay. So, in order to hold these dishcloths in place, I have my, my little, I'm sorry, I'm here. I can get it off my tool, my wall tool holder. Okay, I have my little tag gun, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag this dish towel right in the middle, but I'm going to tag it from the back. And that's going to keep my dishcloths in place. Don't know if you can see that, but I'm just going to, that's the perfect. Okay, and it put that nice little tag in there so it won't move. Did one at the bottom, and now I'm just going to do one more right at the top. This tag gun, the needle on it is very, very sharp. So for it to go through foam board is literally not a problem. And it won't damage your garment either. It's just like the tag gun you know, in department stores when they have clothes and they have the price tags on it. That's all it is. Okay. All right. So that's going to hold on there really, really nice. Everything's very sturdy. Okay. Down in there. Okay. So that's what's going to cover up my foam board. Okay. And that's the back. All right. Put our tag gun away. All right. And then now we're going to start looking at placement of our items. Of course, this is going to be the heaviest item, which is that sparkling cider. Thinking, do I want that on the side or do I want it more in the middle? Because I also have this very heavy candle. And let's see what we're going to do for placement of these items. Okay. Of course, we're going to have to shrink wrap this down to be able to hold all of this because we have a lot of glass and a lot of heavy items. So we're going to have to use some glue dots, some hot glue, and shrink wrap to kind of hold everything in place. Okay, so let's just play with the placement a little bit. And see, because now see we would have candy in here as well. I may have to sit that candy up here some sort of way. I don't quite know yet. Let me play around with the placement and I'll be right back. I'm just going to switch some things around and see what I can come up with. I'll be right back. Okay, my loves, I'm back. I played around with this while I had to take a phone call. So this is what I came up with, okay? I think what I'm going to do is just place the two glasses here. My cider bottle, since it is the heaviest item in the basket, I kind of want that to be the focal point. So we'll put that in the middle. And then I have this beautiful candle, Tuscany candle, and we're going to put that here. The chocolates, I think I'm just going to sit those right on top so you'll be able to see everything in the basket. And then this hand soap, I went ahead and I have a bunch of these Bath and Body Works little bowls. Every time I buy something from Bath and Body Works, they're sitting on the counter and they're free. So I just grab a few and then I just keep them in my stockpile. So when I get Bath and Body Works items, if I don't have a bowl, then I have a stockpile at home. So I think we're going to sit that in here like that. And basically that's all the items that she has given me. I do have this Home Sweet Home sign. I have to take the price tag off the back. I think it was like a penny at one of my Dollar General hauls. Yeah, it was a penny. So it's just tablescape, just something to decorate your table. And it says Home Sweet Home. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to put that right here like so. And just let that hang down just a little bit. Okay? All right. So As I always do, I have a piece of ribbon here. It is just me. It's not anything mandatory, but when I have bottles, I just kind of like to decorate them or embellish them a little bit. So I have some ribbon, just some scrap ribbon, and I'm going to take and tie around the neck of that bottle. But first, I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors. I'm not going to dovetail it, but I'm just going to cut that at an angle. Okay? Just at an angle. And I have my glue gun heating up. Actually, I have two heating up. I have my electric one and I have the one that's wired. The one that has a cord is closest to me. So that's the one that I'm going to use. All right. Hope you can see that. And I'm just going to glue. Turn that around just a little bit. I'm just going to glue that ribbon right there. Like I said, just to give the bottle a little visual interest. I think I have, I'm going to look in my stockpile because I think I have some wine charms that I may embellish those glasses with. I'm not sure if I have anything with that fall theme. Or maybe I should just leave it like it is. Usually when they provide me all the items, I don't try not to do too much extra because it's a design service and they're providing me everything. So I embellish a little bit, but I try not to put too much extra into it. So now that I said that, I think I'm just going to forego the wine charms. Wine glass charms are the little charms that just go on the bottom of the glasses, just to give it some, like I said, some visual interest. Okay, so I went ahead and tied a gold bow because it matches the colors in the basket, which is basically greens and golds, fall colors. All right. Okay, so I am going to start gluing down or glue dotting down some items just to keep them steady. So when I shrink wrap them, nothing will move. I thought I had my glue dots on the table. Hang out. They're right up here. I'll be right back. All right. I thought I had everything on the table. And of course I didn't. So I have my trusty little glue dots here. So what I'm going to do, you know what? I'm going to put just a bead of glue around this candle right at the bottom. It's not going to hurt it any, but it is definitely going to keep it steady for me. So when I get ready to shrink wrap it, it's not going to move. Okay? And rest assured, it's just a bead of glue right down at the bottom. And it is, again, not going to damage anything. It's just going to come right off. Okay? So let's just position that the way I wanted it. Voila. Okay, great. Again, just to keep it steady. So what I'm going to do here on the bottom of this candy, because I want to sit that right on top of that candle, I'm just going to put some glue dots right on the bottom of this bag. This was kind of a last minute realtor order, so she's going to come by today to pick it up this afternoon. So I want to make sure I have it ready for her. Okay, great. So that's going to hold that candy bag right on top of that candle. Also, the gift card that she gave me, I went ahead and used my tag gun and tagged that right to the top. As you can see, that's not going to move. It's hanging up there with the tag gun. I wanted the gift card to be visible. I didn't want it to get lost in anything down here. So that's why I went ahead and I put it up there where the recipient could see it, and it'll be, again, very visible. Now, What I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to put glue dots because this is plastic. It's not glass. So I'm just going to glue dot this down because I don't want the that hot glue to damage the plastic on the bottom of this soap dispenser, because the last thing we need is for it to start leaking in the basket. So we're just going to use some glue dots. Well, if they cooperate with me. There we go. We're going to use some glue dots as not to damage the packaging. Did I miss one? I did. Well, I got it on my finger and not on the bottle. All right. Great. Okay. Got all my glue dots down in there. Okay. And then I'm going to position it right where I want it, which is right there. Okay. So far, so good. As far as this heavy bottle, when I am shrink wrapping, I usually don't worry about it because the bottle won't tilt or anything, but I do need to secure it down so when I do shrink wrap it, it won't tilt. So I have my fishing line again on my shelf right now. So with my trusty fishing line, I am going to secure or tie that bottle down. But before I do that, I am going to put a bead of hot glue right on the bottom. Now, hot glue is not really going to hold this steady, but the shrink wrap will. But it's going to hold it steady enough until I get it shrink wrapped. So if you're ever doing this, don't think that hot glue is going to really hold this heavy bottle in place alone, because it will not. Again, I'm just doing that so it won't move while I'm shrink wrapping. And of course, the shrink wrap is going to hold everything in place. All right. And then I am going to run this fishing line. Okay. Right around everything. The bottle and the candle and the hand wash. We're going to turn that right around. And okay. I'm going to cut off enough to tie it. And what I'm going to do is tie it right under the dishcloths, so it's not going to be visible from the back. Okay, so we got that here. Let's see. Excuse my head. I'm making sure I have all of this in place like I want it. Perfect. Oh, almost perfect. Okay, what's stopping it in the back here? Okay, something's prohibiting it under this cloth. Oh, I know what it is. It was my tag gun clip where I clipped it together with the tag gun. It was getting hung up on there. So let's try this again. I'm gonna run that under like so, like so. Okay. And begin to turn it around so I can make sure I get everything secure. Okay. Great. So what I'm going to do is just tie a little knot right on the side. Again, This is just to hold it in place for the shrink wrapping process. Oops. Oh, I just broke my string. I think I'm gonna have to do that again. My fishing line popped, so I'm gonna do it again. This time I'm going to double it so it'll be extra strong, okay? Let me get this tied around here, and then I'm gonna show you how it is done. All right, guys, my fishing line broke, but then I doubled it and retied it, and you can't really see it, but it's right there. So I ran it through the seam of the top of the soap bottle, around the bottle and under the cap of the candle, and then secured it, of course, in the back, okay? Again, this is just to keep it from shifting while I'm shrink wrapping it. But when you shrink wrap it, it's gonna grab everything together and hold it really, really tight, okay? All right, so then I have these two beautiful glasses. I think I am gonna put some wine charms on there. I don't know, they just look sort of plain sitting up there, right in the front of the basket, but I am gonna have to hunt for the wine charms. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I put the wine charms at the bottom? Let's see what I have. All right, the wine charms that I'd had did not go in with the theme of the basket, so I'm just gonna forego those. Then I thought if I put this tablescape right here, it's gonna hide the wine charms anyway. So I think I'm just gonna forego those, okay? So I went ahead and I took my trusty glue dots and glued the stems of the glasses onto the box, okay? So that's, again, gonna keep those kind of sturdy while I am shrink wrapping, okay? Now, as far as my tablescape, I'm gonna take just a bead of hot glue, just a bead, and we're gonna put that right on the bottom of the tablescape. This hot glue is not gonna disturb it any at all. It's gonna pop right off, and the glue, when it cools, will just roll right off. So this is, again, just to hold everything steady and in place. Okay, so there it goes. All right, so that is our home sweet home basket. I am going to get, of course, some shred. I'm gonna see what color pretty shred I have, maybe to make these colors in here pop. I also have some of the Realtor's promotional items, and she always likes these on the back of the basket. So for her privacy, I'm gonna go ahead and put these on the back of the basket, and I'm gonna come back, we're gonna make a bow, put some shred in here, and get it all wrapped up, and it's going to be, I think, ready to go. So I'm gonna get these promotional items put on the back, and then we'll come back with the shred and the shrink wrap, and we're gonna try to find some ribbon to make a beautiful bow, okay? Thanks for sticking and staying with me thus far. I forgot to say in the beginning of the video, if you've made it this far, give the video a thumbs up. There's a hype button down there somewhere. Don't forget to hype the button. Like, comment, and share it out if you so choose. LLC it if you'd like. And thanks for sticking and staying with me thus far. I'll be right back with the rest of my items, and we're going to get this finished, wrapped up, bowed up, and ready to go. All right, guys, I found some ribbon that I'm going to use for the bow. If you can see that, little pumpkins on that ribbon. And then I found this beautiful fall ribbon. So I may use these two to make a bow. going to stuff some paper down in the sides. So when I put my shred on here, in here, it won't shrink all the way down to the bottom. I just need to sit on top of the paper. You know how we do that. Next time you're in Bath & Body Works or any place like that, they have this paper at the front. If you buy something, just ask them for a couple of extra sheets. I don't have a problem with it. They're always giving me extra. Probably because I'm in there so often. Not Bath & Body Works. I'm sorry. Hobby Lobby. I apologize. Hobby Lobby or stores like that. They always have this paper up front. And it's great filler paper. All right. Perfect. Stuck that straight down in there. I'm going to use this natural color filler. Anytime I'm making realtor baskets, when they provide the items, when I do filler and things like that, or baskets, I try to stay very neutral, unless they request something, you know, totally different. So I try to keep the colors kind of in a neutral fashion because you never know what decor, you know, the recipient's going to have. So I have this natural color shred, and I am just going to cover up that paper and have it just sit right on top, just as a filler, okay? You never, ever, ever want to build your baskets with shred. It's really just a waste, and then it shrinks all down. So we're just gonna fill in the holes, okay? And when you do it this way, really, it doesn't take very much of your material. Okay, so we're going to put that down in here, like that. And then what I want to do is I want to put a little shred right around on the top, you know, where some of this green is being seen. I have this cute little green pumpkin I found. I'm going to put that in here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue gun, and I'm just going to bead some little glue just on the paper, okay? And that's to keep my shred from just falling all over every place. We're just gonna, we don't need a lot, so we don't want to cover up everything, but we do just want to kind of make it cohesive, okay? And when I say cohesive, you just kind of want to make it look like everything's tied in together. So I just put a little glue right on top of that paper. Again, that's just to keep my shred in place. Doesn't serve any other purpose, but just to keep it from falling all over everywhere. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit in the middle here. And that's going to kind of help camouflage the fishing line as well. Okay. And then we're going to put a little bit right here, right on the edge of the box. Again, just a little bit. Keep it all cohesive right there on the edge. And spread it around. And as you can see, that's going to give it a really nice fall look, fall appearance. Okay. Just a little bit more, not a lot. Cover up some of those holes. All right. Great. And then, of course, I have my little pumpkin. And I'm just going to kind of glue dot this down. This pumpkin is really just an embellishment. And we're going to just glue that right on top. That's also going to help keep that shred in place. Since this is basically pumpkin spice, you know, apple cider, the whole fall theme, which is what she was going for. Okay. I like it. I think it came out very, very nice. And of course we have on here Home Sweet Home. Okay. All right. I think that's it for this basket. We're going to push that to the side like so. Let's grab our trusty ribbons. See what kind of bow we're going to come up with. I'm looking at the size of this basket, so you don't want a teeny bow. You want something with just a little bit of width to it, because it's not a tiny basket, but it's not gigantic either. So let's see. Let's get these two ribbons together. I love this ribbon. It has pumpkins on it. It's so pretty. I'm not even sure where I got it from. It might have been from one of my subbies, Melissa. I think you've heard me mentioning Missy's name before. Missy makes wreaths. So a lot of times when she has some scrap ribbon left over, not enough to make a wreath with, she'll just go ahead and gift it to me. And if she is listening to this video, thank you, Missy. I appreciate it. Just want you to know that your materials are not going to waste. I am definitely using them. All right, so let's see. We kind of want a tail on here. So we're going to make that first loop and pinch it together. Yep, I think that's going to make a nice bow. All right. And we're going to twist it right at the point where you're holding it with your fingers. And we're going to loop it again. Let's see if I can get those loops measured out correctly. They look pretty even to me, so that's what we're going to go with. Again, this is scrap ribbon, and I'm hoping it's enough to make at least 3 loops, so we'll see. We shall see. It's looking good so far. I don't know. A lot of time with these ribbon remnants, sometimes it's a little hard to tell. Okay. But I think we're looking good thus far. Tell me down in the comments, guys, how are you guys making your ribbons? Do you make them by hand? Do you use a Bowdabra? Do you have some other bow apparatus that you use? I have a Bowdabra over there somewhere. And when I first started out, I used it a lot. I mean, I absolutely think it's a great invention. I really do. For me, though, I've been doing it now for so long, it's just quicker for me to do it by hand. But whatever works for you, you know. I mean, if you could do it by hand, great. Not everybody has the mobility or the flexibility in their hands to be able to do it. Some people, you know, just don't like to do it by hand. Look, whatever works for you works. But I have been out selling gifts, and my bows, you know, the weather would blow my baskets over, and my bows would get all boogered up, and I had to kind of pull them apart and redo them. Didn't have my bow dabber with me, so it's good that if you can learn how to do it by hand for emergency purposes or whatever, it's always a good thing, unless you're just going to carry your bow dabber around with you. Again, whatever works for you. Like I said, it's just easier for me to do it this way, but you know, what's easy for me is not easy for everybody else. So use what you got. If you have it and it works out for you, great. Use it. Just remember that if you're out street selling, you want to carry it with you, because if you don't do them by hands and something happens to one of your bows, you'll have the ability to kind of pull it apart and redo it and straighten it out. I don't know if that's happened to anybody, but it has happened to me a time or two. You know, wind blowing it over, or kids coming and touching and, you know, feeling, and people handling your baskets. So just be mindful of that. Well, look at here. I had almost just enough, okay, to make a bow with 1, 2, 3 loops on either side. So that's 6 loops. And we're going to cut this a little bit up here, trying to match. All right, cut that ribbon. Cut it a little long, but that's okay. I'll trim it up once I get it all secured in here. Okay, let me get one of my trusty pipe cleaners. I have several of them over here. Let's see, what color? I may have to go with this natural color, because I don't see any that would match better. But it's okay, because once I tie this, you know, and get it secured down, you won't even be able to really see it in the middle. So these pipe cleaners came from Amazon. I ordered, I don't know, hundreds of them came in a pack, and it's been a while ago, because I've had them for a while. Not the best quality. I mean, they work, you know, for what we're using them for. You know, I'm gonna use them till they're all gone, but I don't remember the brand, but they are not like the best quality. But you know, it's gonna serve the purpose, because I'm definitely gonna use them all. I find myself, because I like my bows to be really, really, really tight, and these pipe cleaners are pretty thin. The metal in them are pretty thin. So I find myself doubling it up just a bit. But that's okay. You know, we learn tricks of the trade. All right, let's straighten out our bow just a little bit. And we're going to trim it up and fluff it out and make it really, really pretty. Okay. And let's get those tails dovetailed. All right. You'll always hear me say, you always want to finish the edges of your ribbon. Okay? Give it a nice finished edge. Very, very important. It adds to the professionalism of your work. I personally think, I mean, it's just personal, but I think bows sell. I mean, sometimes, you know, that's the thing that will catch somebody's eye. The color of the bow, the size of the bows sometimes will catch a recipient's eye, or a buyer's eye, before they even look at what's in the basket. So bows definitely, guys, can be a game changer. Okay, and I am finishing this up, cutting my last ducktail. Okay. All right. And we're gonna straighten out our bow. Okay. And now we're going to pull it apart. Pull it apart and fluff. Make no mistake about it too, that the quality of the ribbon that you're using, like the weight, the wire, you know, sometimes it all makes a difference. Sometimes it really, really does, you know, make a difference with the way your bows are going to turn out. Okay. No, guys. I think this is coming out very, very pretty. Of course, we're going to straighten it out more once we attach it to our gift after it's shrink wrapped. I'm going to shrink wrap this gift. I'm not necessarily going to do it on camera. I mean, there's plenty of videos out there, even on my channel, where I'm showing everything being shrink wrapped. But I did want to show you the colors, you know, in this bow. Okay. All right. And that's going to be the finished product. Isn't that bow beautiful? I think it is. And we're going to attach it, of course, to the top here. But we're going to go ahead and get it shrink wrapped. And then I'm going to bring you back and show you after the bow is attached and is all set and ready to go. Thanks for sticking and staying with me. Hang tight with me just for a few more seconds. I'll be right back. And we're going to get this wrapped up and ready to go. Okay? This is Crystal with a basket case. Stay with me just a little bit longer. I appreciate you. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up while you're waiting. Okay, guys, here you go. This is the finished product. I've got my bow attached. I think that bow came out really, really pretty. Okay. And just as a little extra embellishment, I had some gold curling ribbon, so I just decided to go ahead and put that on there as well. I'm not going to turn it around on the back because, like I said, she has some promotional items on the back of that. So just for privacy, I'm just going to not turn that around. But I did want to show you the finished product. Home Sweet Home. I think the basket came out absolutely beautiful. Again, these were the items that the real estate agent provided to me. Everything in the basket except the tablescape. I went ahead and I added that. And just that little pumpkin embellishment, I added that. So The basket, the shred, and just a couple of little embellishments was just something extra that I added along with a piece of ribbon at the top of the bottle. But for the most part, everything else in this basket was provided by the realtor, okay? And the ribbon and the wrap, ribbon and the plastic wrap. I forgot to say that. I did provide that as well. Okay, all right, guys, this is Crystal with a basket case. I'm hoping that you enjoyed this tutorial, and until the next time, signing off. Basket case, give us a thumbs up. We appreciate you. Thanks very much and have a great day.